So yeah, a lot of things has happened. Sunday, June 21st, 2020 is 9:01 in the a.m. Just 9 days before the election in Colorado. Colorado has an election and they do it right. This is perfect for the pandemic, right? You still got the pandemic going on. But written about this, perfect for, I mean, you want everybody to go and push the thing, cough on each, you can't trust that. You just, send it by mail, and then, if anything, it's the people that's got to count the damn votes that you got to worry about. But a lot of weird things have been happening. A lot of people have been getting shot. The George Floyd protest, Black Lives Matter, they clearly do. TV show Cops was canceled. So, Jesus Christ, right? There was actually, a cop actually got fired. The TV show. It's like, anyways, they're recorded. We want that, right? Just be fair. It doesn't have to be just, just showing good cops doing heroic. Show the people that's, go after bad cops. Show that's a good story, too. That's a good viewpoint, too. So a lot of weird shit's been happening. Monmouth University, they removed Woodrow Wilson's name off a campus building to foster diversity. The new name at Monmouth University, instead of Woodrow Wilson's, hall, it's the Great Hall at Shadow Lawn. So it's not Woodrow Wilson's hall at Shadow Lawn, it's the Great Hall. Woodrow Wilson never set foot inside the building. And he's a piece of shit, hated the First Amendment. Threw Eugene Debs in jail just for speaking out against the war. Threw another guy out just for making a movie about the American Revolution. It made the British, who is our allies, look bad. How can you make a movie about the American Revolution without making the British look like pieces of trash? Woodrow Wilson never set foot inside the damn building, so he didn't even appreciate the honor himself. He's a racist piece of shit. So Monmouth University is doing right. In San Francisco, you had 3 statues that was toppled at the Juneteenth Festival, which I believe has to do with the Emancipation Proclamation finally getting to the slaves in Texas 2 years after it was proclaimed. So finally Texas, the slaves were like, wait a second, what? Abraham Lincoln did what? U.S. Grant, his statue was also toppled. This is in San Francisco. He once owned a slave before the Civil War. U.S. Grant is kind of a drunk from Ohio, but he kind of, kept Reconstruction going. But, these old-ass statues, I think we can venerate brand new heroes. We got, it's a brand new world with the internet. It's postmodern era. We need our own heroes anyways. There's also a statue of Junipero Serra, who apparently was a Catholic saint in the 1700s. And then Francis Scott Key. Oh no! The author of the Star-Spangled Banner, his statue was knocked down in San Francisco too. So all this fantastic news, right? So Dylan Robinson, he accused of torching Minneapolis 3rd Precinct Police Station. He was sent back to Minnesota. This is from Colorado. Dylan Robinson is a 22-year-old male who lives in Colorado. I think white male, who flew to Minnesota to show solidarity with the protesters there. And apparently he threw a Molotov cocktail into a police station and then he handed it to somebody. So their charges is 1 count of arson, the 2nd count of aiding and abetting an arson, carries a sentence of 5 to 25 years in prison. Castillo County doesn't take arson serious or the killing of pets or really criminality to be... I don't know what it takes to get the police to give a goddamn fuck. Maybe if you're kidnapped along with his family, it's like, hey, I kidnapped that, who cares? But it's with your family. Oh, shit. What does it take? What does it have to take? I mean, I feel like I don't want to test it. What's it take? Like, what has to happen for the cops to give a goddamn fuck about you? They'll fuck you over in a heartbeat. Throw you in the, rocket docket slaughterhouse. But don't charge them with shit, because it's not about justice. There is no presence of justice. MLK said that peace comes by not the absence of conflict, but by the presence of justice. We need the presence of justice. police haven't done goddamn shit for me. Oh, I'm fucking privileged? Really? You know what the fuck happened? Okay, you don't know shit. Yeah, there's some ways, like I can buy Band-Aids, right? But every once in a while, cops will beat the fuck out of me, and they'll fuck me over, and they never help. They never do shit. So the time for police to be reformed, the time for change, this is good, this is now. Dylan Robinson, I hope that the historical moment, this carries a sentence. His arson, he's going to, oh yeah, you can't burn the police, but you can burn houses in, Castillo. That's okay. You can go ahead and burn houses in, Castillo County. But he does it to the police. He's going to get 5 to 25 years in prison. But burn a poor person in the middle of nowhere, who gives a shit, right? Dylan Robinson, so, he's in a video, right? So they got him on video. The federal judge of a U.S. District Court in Denver on Friday afternoon, they saw Dylan Robinson, and the judge ordered the U.S. Marshals Service to return Dylan Robinson to the U.S. District Court in Minnesota. So they're shipping him back to Minnesota. Dylan Robinson, if nobody was injured, if nobody was hurt, I think we should just go ahead. If I was on the jury, that federal jury, I would have quit. Dylan Robinson is part of this historical moment. This shit needs to happen, and if perhaps the goddamn cops would have got a conscience on their own, decades ago, then this shit wouldn't have happened. This happened in 1968, right? This has been happening. This happens in California. It happens everywhere in America. Germany, they're not that bad. UK, they don't even carry guns. So this is actually all about the major police reforms that Colorado passed. So it's been 7 minutes into it, but you know what? I will mention it. And then I'll get back to it, because I think to understand the historical context is very important. We're in a coronavirus, right, the pandemic, and then all the police brutality, the protest. What they did to George Floyd was fucking bullshit. So Dylan Robinson was on the right side. Should he have burnt? No, he shouldn't have burnt the police. But there was, they snapped some necks in Baltimore. And then somebody burned a police car, so you can snap a spine. Nobody says shit if it's a black spine or really white spine. Nobody gives a shit about anybody that gets killed by the cops. But destroy a police car, that's the crime, right? Destroy property, that's the big crime right there. You can kill a person, you can kill a man, but don't destroy property. If Dylan Robinson only destroyed property, then he's doing that in the same vein as Nelson Mandela. So it's not terrorism, he's not attacking civilians, he's not attacking people, and he's attacking property for a political purpose, and so I think that's forgivable, especially in this moment. June 20th, 2020, a 17-year-old is killed in Aurora, Colorado. So this is right where Andrew Romanoff lives. A 17-year-old was just killed. Juneteenth festival, nobody knows anything about anything, right? So cops don't say shit about shit. Want you to say everything, but they don't tell you nothing. So they say it's probably just between the victim and the suspect. So somebody went to Juneteenth, killed 17-year-old. Probably just him and beefing with his boyfriend, right? Probably not even a big deal. But they can't identify the suspects, nor the victim. Who's the victim? We don't know. Who's the suspects? We don't know. If you got any information, we'll give you $2,000. So I feel like the media's got nothing. They got jack shit, and that means the cops have not much more than that, right? So cops killed one suspect in Westminster, Colorado, Adams County. Again, this is 2020, June 19th, June 20th, June 20th. So cops killed one suspect in Westminster, Colorado, Adams County, 6900 block of Stewart Street, just north of Westminster High School. 38-year-old Caucasian male. Westminster police are executing a warrant for Lakewood police for a second-degree assault to handgun, first-degree burglary, felony menace in violation of bail, and other charges. 2 sergeants shot their weapons. Many adults and 1 kid was in the apartment where the 38-year-old Caucasian male was. 17th District Critical Incident Team is investigating this. So a lot of crazy shit, right? Seems like perhaps just crime in general. Cops are still shooting people. Seems like they had to the police in Westminster, Colorado had to hurry up and do these, warrant. And I think they said so not a no-knock warrant, so it's not against the legislation, but, everything's going to change. We better hurry up and do this raid. So hopefully, this is amazing. What Colorado has done is amazing when it comes to reforming the police. So June 3rd, it was introduced earlier this month, right? It's the 21st right now. So 2 weeks ago, state lawmakers enthusiastically passed it. The bill is led by State Representative Leslie Herod. So if your representative is Leslie Herod, she's kicking ass and taking names for you. Sponsored by Leroy Garcia, who's a prominent Democrat state senator, also State Representative Serena Gonzalez Gutierrez, and State Senator Rhonda Fields. They all sponsored it, pushed it. They're all lawmakers of color. They worked alongside the ACLU to craft the legislation. Why does it take people of color to to get everybody rights? So Jared Polis signs a bill ending qualified immunity. Okay, this police reform bill in Colorado is sweeping and it's fantastic. So many great things. So qualified immunity is gone. No more. If you're in Colorado, a cop can't say, "Hey, I'm a cop. I can do whatever the fuck I want." And really, who the hell would even say that? That should be an insult to the. Who should be immune from the law? Maybe like an insider to a criminal syndicate if they, get the kingfish. So you get some lesser to turn on the kingfish, and then that's about it, right? That's the person who gets immunity because you got something bigger. Qualified immunity? Well, I'm a cop. I'm a cop, so I'm part of the state. State can do whatever it wants. I can do whatever I want. I'm a cop. Qualified immunity is bullshit to begin with. States having sovereign immunity is bullshit. Only the people in a democracy can be the sovereign immune. If there's such a thing, that just smacks of royalty, immune. No, the rule of law says everybody has to, follow the goddamn law. So, fantastic. The police reform bill in Colorado ends qualified immunity. It's a broad police accountability bill, so it happened after the George Floyd was killed by a Minneapolis police officer, 8 minutes, 46 seconds. Black Lives Matter protest, coronavirus. Jared Polis is going to say, we cannot go back to normal. We need to create a new normal where everybody's rights are respected. Fantastic. Grand juries under the law will be required to release reports when they decide against charging officers accused of murder. They bury that shit in the grand jury. This is fantastic news. The cop kills somebody. The grand jury tries to bury it. Okay, fine, but give us a report. What the hell was talked about? What was decided? New bill also allows for police officers to be sued for misconduct. It bans chokeholds. And this is interesting, something about banning choke. So if you can't chokehold a person to subdue them, they're saying that the only way you could do, is just hit a person in the head with a police baton. Is that the only way we're going to subdue, people now? I think it's good. I'm okay with the chokehold ban. Figure it out. No, you're not going to beat the shit. You're not going to hit somebody in the head just to subdue them unless, they're violent and out of control. But just go straight for the chokehold immediately. Chokehold. It's fucked up. Especially since I would say most Americans would peacefully go willingly to the, police station if they were to be arrested by the cops. Cops don't have to be so, it's dangerous because there could be that one guy out of a million that, does some shit. But for the most part, cops have all the respect, all the money, all the power in the world. And they have a rocket docket slaughterhouse to throw motherfuckers in. They're the fourth branch of government. So this is fantastic. The grand juries have to release the reports. They can be sued for misconduct. No more qualified immunity. Ban chokeholds. Also, other limits. It limits other uses of force, such as prohibiting police from using non-lethal weapons like tear gas and rubber bullets to shooting at protesters' heads or their backs or their pelvises. You can't. You're trying to kill them. You're just trying to, with the tear gas, rubber bullets, you shoot at their heads. You could lose an eye. You can hit the temple, pelvises. You can mess up your genital back. Who the hell would, what kind of decent person shooting somebody in the back? Back in the days of the Wild West, that was basically, he was shot in the back. No, something went wrong if that's how it happened. So, new law requires that all the police in Colorado have body cameras by June 1st, 2023. Why don't they have body cameras already? Unedited footage from the body cameras must be released to the public within 21 days of the filing of misconduct complaints. So within 3 weeks, the entire, unedited footage from the body cameras must be released. Everybody in Colorado all the police must have body cameras. The new Colorado law bars police from using deadly force against suspects they believe are armed unless there is an immediate threat of a weapon being used as suspect attempts to escape. Bans deadly force unless the life is in immediate danger. They're just running away. You can't attack them. They're coming at you. Then, life is in danger. You can protect life. Requires officers to report every time they stop somebody. They suspect of a crime. You stop somebody. You thought they, committed a crime. Okay, who are they? You got to record that person, their name, their race, their gender. So I think they're gathering statistics to see if there's disproportionate policing on the count of race, gender, and ethnicity. The bill asks cops to report wrongdoing on other cops. It asks them, but this is a step in the right direction. And ending qualified immunity, banning chokeholds. Police are going to have to pay attention to this law and say, okay, shit, we got to do policing differently than we've been doing the whole time. And you saw that police union guy sitting there saying, they're holding us back. Why? Because we're not allowing you to kill motherfuckers? That's not the point. You're supposed to enforce the law. And the law, you can't kill people. You're breaking the law that you're supposed to be enforcing. So it only asks them politely, right? Please report the crimes by your fellow cops, especially major crimes, right? Guys, major crimes, if a cop commits they should be held to account, right? It's not just, they can fuck you over for some petty, you don't have taillight, but then meanwhile they're, chokeholding people to death. Oh, that's fine and dandy. Cops can be personally liable to up to $25,000 in damages. So they do cap it, right? 25,000. Well, they personally are liable. That's it. So in a way, that might actually be for their protection. But that's, qualified immunity. So you can now sue and get $25,000 directly from that cop if they violate your civil rights or any other reason. If they, not just violates, if they destroy your property, if they commit a crime against you. You can sue them for up to $25,000 now. ACLU says that Colorado is one of the first states out of the 50 in the union to do that. Cops who don't follow this law can be fired. Officers who intentionally don't turn on or tamper with their body camera will lose their certification for at least 1 year. Qualified immunity. Why is qualified immunity a thing? It's not a defense to liability anymore, so one of the first states in the 50 to do so. They will, lose their certification for at least a year. Suspension, lose their certification, get fired. Qualified immunity means that government officials can get away with violating your rights as long as they violated them in a way that nobody ever thought of before. Well, shit, we never wrote that thing down. Well, I guess he gets away with it. Jared Polis says we can bend the moral arc of the universe towards justice. Just like MLK says we need the presence of justice. Jared Polis has been a fantastic governor. I've heard just, lots of major changes, but he's held it together. So, kudos to Jared Polis. Kudos to Colorado. They've been, I think, leading on coronavirus very good, leading the state very good. Jared Polis is kicking ass and taking names. And so Donald Valdez, make sure he's a good man, so check him out. He's been, around for a while before Polis got in there. But now that Polis is in there, I think you need a Valdez. Probably. I think Valdez is England, right? He's been in there longer. He should have some seniority. Now, a couple problems that I have with the police bill, it doesn't, go far enough. It seems like it asks cops. I feel like there should be some crimes that are mandated. Cops must arrest another cop for a murder. They must do it. If the justice system is all about justice, then put them through the rocket docket slaughterhouse. See how they go, let's see how they do with their own justice system. Don't bury it in a grand jury. Get it in front of a jury of your peers. Get 12 people to judge you, the cop. Did you kill this person intentionally, like a murder, or did you do it for the good of the people? You defended life. What the fuck happened? I think if you're a good person, you should be able to sit in front of the jury and tell them exactly what the fuck happened. In fact, I've seen a movie with it, with the dude, Jeff Bridges. And he was just like, yeah, I was there, did this, did that, and he was just, the prosecutor was hitting him with hard questions, and you've been going to, for what's... So I think police officers should go into court. That's the whole point. They're good, respectable men. So their word is their bond. They'll go into court, and if somebody says they didn't tell the truth, they'll, testify. They'll go through the criminal justice system. They'll stand before God and the world and testify to what they did and why they did it and why their fellow, So the problems that I have with this, the two major problems that I have is that police should apply nonviolent means when possible before resorting to the use of it. This is something that they want, and this is something that's totally, you should exhaust all nonviolent means before resorting to violence. But it says, apply nonviolent means when possible. It's always possible. And that's, cops run up immediately, violence, right? But they say that jailers don't have to worry about all that nonviolent shit. Jailers don't have to worry about that. Cops have to worry, but not the jailers. I don't understand that exception. Also, there's too many reasons that they could turn their cameras off. They should have those cameras on 24/7, 365. What should a police officer, what could be held private? When the police officer has that badge and that uniform and that gun and they work for the state and a democracy, they're for the people. Everything and anything the cops say and do need to be recorded at all times. They want to call their wives on their shift. If they want to, buy car insurance, whatever the hell they're doing, they should just know that they're possibly talking to the entire world. What do the police have to, they're doing, they are representing us, we the people, our government, definitely, right? And so if they're going to represent the state, the government, and possibly the people, if they are, you have to be you got to record everything that they do. But in this bill, officers can turn off their cameras to avoid recording personal information that is not case-related, or if they're working undercover, or if they're on an unrelated assignment. Undercover, then have an undercover camera. You're going to have, a bunch of snitches get wired, right? Have some poor schmuck get wired, send him in danger. Or if they're on an unrelated assignment, that you could just say, oh, I was on another assignment. You can turn off the camera when there's a long break in the incident, right? So bang, 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 shooting, bank robbery, violence. And then they've been hanging out for an hour. Turn it off, right? Also, they could turn it off in administrative, tactical, and management discussions. We were talking about tactics. We were talking about administrative. We were name dropping, talking about this person, that. That's politics. Management discussions. Fuck management. If you're managing, you don't even understand humanity. You don't even understand how freedom is a necessary precondition. You're managing motherfuckers like they're a bunch of cattle. You lead people. If you're managing them, then you're an oppressor. So a bunch of reasons. Cops can turn off their cameras. Oh, it's an administrative thing. Oh, it's a management thing. Oh, it's a tactical thing. We've been here for a long time. Okay, let's turn the camera off and let's talk, let's talk turkey. Let's actually say what the hell's going on. Oh, I'm working undercover. I can kind of understand that, but I also feel like you should be recording all that you do. You're working undercover. Why is it so, it's got to be goddamn El Chapo. You're going to sit there and say you don't have to follow the damn rules? Okay, well, you're going after goddamn El Chapo. You're an unrelated assignment. I don't even understand. This is the language of the law. Unrelated assignment. So, I'm stopping a traffic thing, but I, turned it off because I'm talking about a jaywalk. And that doesn't make sense. They need to be recorded on. These cameras need to stay on, and they need to be recorded the entire time. So I don't like all the exceptions of how they can turn off the cameras. Also don't like how jailers don't have to worry about all that non-violent stuff. You know that you should exhaust all non-violent means at all times before engaging in violence. Of course you should do that. Of course you should do that. What kind of person would say, no, violence first always, and then we'll ask questions later? That's a criminal. That's a criminal who does that. That's a psychopathic criminal. So, yeah, sweeping changes in Colorado, police reform bill, it's fantastic. A lot of good things are in there. So, it's not perfect, but, they're banning chokeholds, banning qualified immunities, grand juries now have to give a report. Police officers can be sued for misconduct. They're asking the cops, and it kind of shows you, right? Please, cops, if one of your fellow cops is, guilty of a capital crime, can you arrest it? Can you be a good person or not? That's your team, so you're going to allow that person to, break all the laws and commit all the crimes? Fuck the thin blue line. You're just saying they're on our team so they can commit any atrocity. No, fuck you. If you're committing atrocities, I don't want you on my team. Don't shoot a person in the back. Don't shoot them in the pelvis. Don't shoot protesters with tear gas and rubber bullets. This is fantastic stuff. Body cameras must be on all cops by June 1st, 2023. So in 3 years, all cops in Colorado will have to have body cameras. Even small towns that will complain, well, we don't have enough money. Shit's cheap. And you could just, just record over the stuff. And unedited footage from body cameras must be released within 3 weeks of the following misconduct complaints. It's fantastic. No deadly force unless life is in danger. They have to record every time they stop somebody that they suspect of a crime. So this is all good stuff. So good job, Colorado. Good job, Jared Polis. I think that this is very progressive and this is fantastic. Colorado really, read this moment correctly. And I hope we keep working on these things. I hope, a lot of things, it's just a balance of all this. We got to work out, the balance. So, good job, Jared Polis. I'm John Masters, 9/29, Sunday, June 21st, 2020, Southern Colorado, Castillo County, Mesita, Jaroso, Lobato, Luvetti. Want it to be the Sunshine Valley, but it's the Luvetti. So, straight out of Southern Colorado, Luvetti, John Masters. Peace!